Welcome, Victor, to the TechBBQ
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
2025
Pleasure.
podcast and TechBBQ 2025
Yeah.
also. We got in touch on the event app,
Yeah.
the Brella app.
Yeah.
And had a small chat about you joining the podcast because I read about the company, I read about your profile. I have been scouting profiles on the event app, and I do believe that your startup is really interesting. I'm looking forward to telling or listening and learning more about your company as well.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that,
Yeah.
I want to take a step back
Mm-hmm.
and get a short story about, or the story of Victor.
Yeah,
How he came
it sounds really well.
How he came to be. Don't speak about your parents' book, but how you came to be.
Yeah.
Where the origins from, and how you ended up where you are now.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. As you may notice, I don't have like a proper English. I have a little bit of accent. That's why I come from Spain. So I started that. I did my degree in industrial engineering, and so I'm an engineer by profession.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had the opportunity to start the master's then in Barcelona, and I have finished the master here in Lund, in Sweden. So there, with the master thesis, it came up the idea that we will discuss today. And the incubator from then arrived to me, contact me, and they proposed me to follow the path, to try where we can end up. And that's why we are here today in TechBBQ. That's a little bit my background. And apart from that, the master is quite finished now. Mm-hmm. So not from only that in terms of engineering, but I'm a huge lover of finance. That's more into side hustle, but it has converted in kind of the startup that we'll now see. And I'm kind of a retail investor, so I'm a huge fan of it also.
Nice. I forgot to change the camera to you, but it will manage. Okay. You came from Spain, came to do your master's thesis and degree, and finished in Lund, and you just finished not too long ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this master program is what led you to the idea behind the company. So speak to us a bit about what the initial idea was and what it came from.
That's interesting. Like the first idea, like I can tell here, it was kind of a too good to go thing, but it's not anymore that place. So it ended up to be like educational technology, the so-called EdTech in finance. So we are based, and we have studied a lot of business model like Duolingo, Wise, one that is presented here, Wood from Mauro from Portugal. So we are trying to put this gamification into finance so people can understand at least the basics of it, not only investing, but also how to manage their rent, how to manage the biggest decision in their life. So that's a thing that we have found that we have not found it yet that is like pursued that need. Also about that, we have confirmed that the need is there. And we are seeking most of these professionals that are like from 20 to 40 years old. So they are digitally active, so they use social media, and they are started to be quite reluctant to watch TV, for example, or traditional banks. That would be the main idea or the need that we are approaching with the app.
So the idea sparked out as a too good to go-ish idea, but morphed into a gamification of basic finances.
Yeah, that's the thing. We will be starting with basic finances, and now we are in the point that we are trying to confirm which is the maximum layer and the minimum layer in terms of knowledge that is needed for the customers, because we have found that if we are doing like minimum stages, like for example, if I have to buy that soda or not, if I have to subscribe or not to that app, I think that's so minimum layer that people will not see value there. But in the other part, if we are maximizing that value, sometimes people feel a little bit, they feel the friction. That is the first thing that we don't want in our app, friction. And maybe the second one that we want in our app is attention. We know that we live in a world that we scroll in media, so we want to integrate that in our app. So these kind of games and all the stuff that we are now thinking, because it's kind of in a pre-seed stage now, benefits us. The social media thing that is kind of a psychological thing that the big ones, the tech ones, has implemented in their day-to-day can for sure benefit us in the long term.
So we maybe even have jumped a little bit ahead here.
Okay.
But we are teasing the real story here. I feel like we're slowly moving up to the point that I'm going to ask you now. What is it your company actually do?
Yeah, that's the thing. Our company makes the guidance, let's say. Like, for example, if you are into learning finance and you want to, I don't know, invest like 20-25% of your income that you don't know how to do, our finance makes the guidance. So the thing is, we do a personalized onboarding for you, because I don't want to have like a generic app. I want to have an app for Christian, an app for Victor, not a generic app like maybe another like learning languages that I've seen. So the thing is, when you have a decision to do, the app will advise you the option that you have, and also with this decision, how it provokes or impacts your status now. Like, for example, if you are like seeking a job and you want to buy a 1 million house, I think it's not the proper moment. So I'm going in an extrovert expanded case, but it will be the thing. So it will be like education, but in real time, not I want to educate myself because I want to. I want to educate myself because of necessity.
So you saw in the general education area market that there is a lack of financial education.
Yeah.
And you wanted to find a way to gamify this area, but also add it in multiple levels of basic levels. Do I need this app? About the small stuff?
Yeah.
But also be the ability to move up and have some bigger finance decisions, helping tools for everyone, basically.
Yeah, you summarize it quite well, because I know that at the same time there are like different people that want to know. Like, for example, I have friends that want the basics, only that, but some of that they want to go like high on their dreams. For example, they want to seek, for example, here in TechBBQ a startup, so they have to manage the money more probably than maybe another one that doesn't want to start a business. And that's the thing. And returning to the point, yes, we found a need, because we've seen people trying it with some competitors that we have studied them, and it's more like kind of informative apps. So you have there, for example, there are banks that they have budgeting, so you can see properly where you have spend your money month to month. But it's kind of informative. You saw all that and you don't know what to do. That's the thing.
Awesome. And you might say that this is the school's job, this is the parents' job to make to help educate people on financial decisions in their own life, but we don't really do that in the public school system anymore.
No, we don't. I think it's a 50-50. But if you kind of imagine your parents has also been to school. So if I have to choose one, I think it's education. I think it's cool because we tend to do a lot of subjects of, I don't know, mathematics, like for example, in my case, engineering, have done a lot of things that maybe I have done like 50, 60 subjects. And I think one or two was about economics. And it was like general economics, macroeconomics. So I think so. Yeah.
So I want to go back one step, and because I noticed one thing you said, and it sounds super labor intensive, is that you want to do personalized onboarding for everyone using the app. You want it to be a personal finance guidance educational app, and not a generic experience for the users.
Yeah.
This sounds labor intensive. How do you come around? Let's imagine you gain 100,000 users. I mean, it will be, I don't know, maybe it's impossible, maybe it's impractical, but maybe you can tell me more about how you are achieving the personal onboarding experience.
Yeah, I think it's the most demanding part of the startup now that we are thinking of. But at the same point, if we try to achieve that, it will be the most beneficial. But returning to the point, I think that it has to be kind of an automatic thing with tech, let's say. I don't want to say AI because here in TechBBQ, I see a lot of AI. So I don't want to use AI. If it's AI, it's okay. But I don't want to, for example, you said a base of 1,000 users. I don't want to have my team looking at the 1,000. But at the same time, I want users to feel unique at the same time. For example, imagine it like an app, like, I don't know, Spotify. Spotify is kind of generic. You can search your own music, but you have your own playlist. It's yours.
Yeah,
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but you want the app is the basis, but it's only your own playlist. It's your app. You configure to your needs, so no two apps will look the same.
Yeah, because I think that in terms of finance, you have like a risk aversion X. My risk aversion is Y. You have some emotions. Myself, maybe you are working, maybe I'm not working. So we are in different stages, and we understand that.
So going back to I keep saying going back, but returning to the point of gamification.
Yeah.
It's been proven again and again, of course, that gamification of most subjects work really, really well. Most big corporates use gamification for onboarding, for training, for all this stuff. And gamification is used in schools, for children, and almost every area is really used. I actually had a gamification development company here last year as well. How do you achieve gamification of finances?
That's the thing. I think the best way of gamification, like trying to gamify finance, is try people not to think that is finance, to make it in kind of a flow state. Let's say that they are trying to, for example, when I'm using Duolingo, to be honest, I'm not thinking I'm learning English or Swedish. I'm only playing a game. That's the thing. For example, I was mentioning both that I came from the conference and they are doing like a boxing thing and they are only thinking about the game. So that's what I want to try to do. I want to do these kind of games, sort of gamification process that first of all is zero friction for the user. And when we achieve this zero friction, that they get this knowledge the easiest way possible. Because I think finance sometimes is explained as a way is like, wow, that's so huge. So I cannot achieve that.
Is it completely wrong to change the narrative away from the too good to go, but maybe call it the Duolingo for finances?
Could be. And I think that's a compliment.
Because but this is what you're aiming to achieve.
Kind of. I think that don't want to do the same exact thing as them, because I think that they have achieved a thing with languages that I'm surprised. They have a valuation in the stock market that is amazing. It's the best supposed gamification app that they've done. But I think finally we have to reconvert it a little bit. Because also I think in Duolingo, if you want to really learn a language, I think that is kind of a mid thing. If I want to learn Swedish properly, I think Duolingo, if I'm like 100% there, maybe I have a chance, but it's not 100%. So I think the key is to listen to customers, what they really want in terms of high importance finance. Like, do you want to really, really learn it all, or only the basics?
But also, Duolingo is generic.
Yeah.
And you want to create a unique experience for each user. So I imagine that it's a combination of managing or putting in your own finance data.
Yeah.
Or is it only the gamification?
So the thing is, first it will be like an onboarding of get to know you, but at the same time we don't want to be intrusive. In terms of, for example, I know a lot of fintechs that is a must to put bank details and all the stuff. We don't want to be that ones because it creates friction. So what we will do is trying to do like onboarding that you can like show us what is Christian really is in terms of emotional all stuff, and then we can switch lanes in terms of the gamification part. Because maybe if you are more risk averse, maybe you have to take 2 steps back to arrive at the same point as mine, let's say.
How do you, without being intrusive, without pulling bank data and listening to and really almost surveilling your customers, and you won't rely on them to tell you who they are, how do you, because finance and economy in general, as on a private level, is a touchy subject. Most people don't like speak about it, especially in the Nordic countries. We don't speak about money. But even though then, this is coming from an accounting view. I've been doing accounting for a millennia now.
Okay, nice.
People lie. People lie about who they are and how well educated they are in their own finances. How do you
switch it?
Yeah, because there's a fine line between forcing someone to saying that they are dumb, but also having them engage.
Yeah.
How do you ensure you find the right level to put them on?
Yeah. I think here there are 2 situations. First is the decision that you do in the onboarding. Because if you lie, I think it's your decision. Because, for example, I have done onboardings that if you lie, then you will notice in the app. For example, in Duolingo, returning to the point, if you say that you are very good in a language, you will notice in the app. So you will encounter that thing. But at the same point, I think that we will try to do, for example, like stages that you can like as a game, as a video game, you can get back and redirect where you really want to go. Because maybe you are not lying, but maybe you feel something that you don't really know, or in the other way. Maybe you say, I don't know about stocks, but then you discover that you actually managed to know something, let's say. So this reminds me like when you choose university, maybe your first decision is not the best one, but you have you have an option to switch to another degree that you want, kind of.
Okay, it totally makes sense. Again, in Duolingo, you will fail if you choose a too hard level.
Yeah.
You must to find the right level, but it's just and I'm being a little prejudiced, just speaking from my point of view, that people don't like being told that they don't know enough about finances. Like, I have this thing, I have everything under control, blah, 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 blah. You don't tell me what I don't know because I already know, and what you say is false. I don't know how far you are in the development, of course, but I could imagine that something like this is one of the struggles of trying to gamify, or maybe with the solution is to gamify.
Yeah.
Instead of teaching, then so the solution might be to gamify.
Yeah. Yeah, like our idea is not to tell anyone that it's dumb or smart. Let's say they will have to discover themselves. No, but not joking. Like, no, but to be honest, it's not our idea to tell them to like you are dumb or you are smart. Our idea is to give them the tools to do it, and then if they get the tools, it's their decision. If they don't get it, is if they don't get it, is our goal to make it more gamified to reduce this kind of friction. Let's say.
So how far are you in the process of the development and the launch of this company at this moment?
So now I'm here in TechBBQ seeking for this kind of co-founder in most techy part to do a kind of more serious MVP, because we have done in some mock-ups to incubators and they have liked the idea, but as we are discussing here, there are some topics that have to be more concrete, let's say. So first of all, this will be the first one, to find a more tech co-founder. And second one, I think should be making the software available for people, because we have been testing the ideas of customers, but not the action of customers.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, I can ask you, do you want, for example, I have met here with people, yes, I want the app. But unless that I see you with the app interacting and liking it, I'm not fully secure that you like the app. That's the thing. So these will be the two things.
You're still early stage, idea phase almost. You have some mock-ups, some prototypes built, but you're looking to engage with a co-founder, some startups, some incubator to get this the app up and running, basically.
Yeah, and also that's another thing that came up this week, that we are trying to see kind of that's new, some psychologists in terms of this gamification education, because I have been thinking this poor psychology, the gamified education. So maybe not a co-founder, let's say, but more like a freelance or someone that seeks to help us a little bit in terms of what the customer will think using the app, and trying to reduce this friction, let's say. Yeah.
So you're really focused on having it being a good, a pleasant experience for the user to use the app.
Yeah, that's the main thing. To play a lot with the UX UI design, with the colors, to be honest, all of the is in our hand to make not only the experience more pleasant, but they learn and they are not noticing that they are learning at the same point. So they switch, they return to their, I don't know, Instagram, YouTube, whatever they want, and they're good.
Really interesting project, really. I think there is a gap and the need for something like this.
Yeah.
Because as we spoke about, you don't teach personal finances in school anymore. And a lot of people, they black out when they try read about their taxes or finances or something. There's not much teaching about it. Gamification might actually be a great way to do it, because you take a serious subject and use the gamification to spoon feed them a little tiny bit at a time like this. And hopefully they get better and better.
That's it.
Awesome. So you're here looking for investment, incubation, co-founders, partners, sparring partners, basically anyone interested?
More like networking in terms of the co-founder thing, and incubators. Well, I have myself one in Lund, so I'm staying loyal to them, let's say. But maybe tomorrow we will seek a little bit of investors only to know what is the requirements in the future, thinking about the future. So a lot of opportunities here.
So it will be hard for me to, not hard for me to ask, but hard for you to answer what does the future look like for the company, because you're still at the stage where you're finding out everything.
Yeah.
So I hope more. I'll turn this around and say I hope in a year, maybe the next TechBBQ, maybe whenever, maybe you come by the normal podcast studio.
Yeah.
We can do a follow up and see what has happened with the app.
That would be great.
The progress and development, and hopefully you are in every school children's phone.
Yeah.
By the end of 2026.
Yeah, that would be a huge achievement for sure. For sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining the TechBBQ podcast for 2025. Hope you have had an amazing time here at TechBBQ. It's a hectic few days. There's so many people, so many things to see.
A lot of things.
Yes, so many things to see and so many people to speak.
I'm exhausted.
Yes, me too. And I'm going to dinner soon. Thank you so much for joining the podcast. It was my pleasure having you. I'm really looking forward to seeing the development and seeing the future for the Money.
Yeah.
Money app.
Money app.
Money app. Straight name.
Straight name.
Straight.
Hope to see each other in a year.
Yes,
in
absolutely.
the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.